Hello and welcome to the channel. This is the second part of the video about the service of the beautiful vintage Seiko watch based on the great movement caliber 5606. I'm starting from preparing the mainspring barrel by applying the Mobius 8217 grease to its wall. This should be always done for automatic watches. The mainspring winder that I am using has been modified by myself, and it has now a steel hook instead of brass, and also can wind springs in both directions. The link to the video about this modification is in the description. After winding up the mainspring, I am putting it into the barrel. Just to remind that this movement has both manual and automatic ability to wind the mainspring. Now I am using the Mobius 9501 grease to lubricate the setting mechanism, starting from winding pinion and clutch wheel. Then I lubricate the winding stem and inserting these three components into the main plate. Lubricating the clutch wheel where it contacts with the yoke. Then post for yoke and placing the yoke into this place. I put some screws on their places during disassembling, and so I am removing those now. Next is the yoke spring. And now is the setting wheel lever complete. Putting setting lever axle, following by setting lever, now is the setting wheel lever spring, and a setting lever spring. Checking how the setting mechanism works. Lubricating wheels of the setting wheel lever complete. And assembling the date corrector wheel rocking lever. The date jumper goes next. And the date corrector wheel rocking lever spring. Removing two screws left in the part 1 of this work. And installing the date corrector wheel rocker. The gear on this part is the troubling point, which failed in many 5606 movements over the time of 50 years. Lubricating the minute wheel spring and installing the minute wheel. Minute wheel bridge goes next. Here is the rocker at action. It is used to move day and date dials during quick set operations. Now I need to put back the balance wheel jewels on this side of the main plate. I cleaned jewels in IPA and applying a small amount of Mobius 4010 oil on the cap jewel. turning on the train wheel side. And installing the second setting lever. This is what they called hack. It allows the second hand to stop when you adjusting the time. Starting to assemble the train wheel portion of the movement. Mainspring barrel, the large driving wheel. This wheel contains the off-center cannon pinion, which makes this movement different as it compares to common movements. Next is the third wheel, followed by escape wheel. And now is the sweep second wheel. Lubricating mainspring barrel and then the differential wheel. It should be lubricated on both sides, and I am using HP 1300 oil to do that. The second reverser idler goes next. Now it's time to assemble the barrel and train wheel bridge. I am using the automatic oiler to provide oil to the escape wheel pivot. There is a crown wheel which is not removable from the bridge, and I lubricate it using the dedicated hole on the bridge. Now installing the transmission wheel and transmission wheel bridge held by two small screws. Now I can install the bridge. After checking that all pivots are in place, I tighten 3 screws. And checking again that all wheels are moving freely. Now installing the ratchet wheel spring called click and the ratchet wheel, fixing it by dedicated screw. Next step involves installing the pallet fork. I clean it together with the balance wheel assembly using hexane degreaser. To dry the balance wheel assembly, I use just a small air blower. And then I install the pallet fork and pallet fork bridge. Then I wind up the mainspring and checking if the pallet fork jumps from one position to another. This tells me that the train will transfer power from the mainspring down to the pallet fork. After this checking, I lubricate the exit pallet using Mobius 941 oil and moving the pallets to distribute oil on the escape wheel teeth. I do it 3 times to cover all escape wheel teeth. Then I am installing the second setting lever spring. It's very tiny and has the habit to jump over to universe. And now comes the moment of excitement, when we will see how the movement become alive. And it does. Lubricating the cap jewel and installing it to balance wheel assembly. This is first reverse idler, and I fixed it by reverser idler bolt. Here's a quick check how second setting hack works. The balance wheel stops when the stem is in a time adjustment position and starts when that position has changed. Flipping over to the dial side to install the calendar mechanism. Installing the second Canon pinion and engaging it with the minute wheel. It has no friction with the post. The hour wheel goes next, and the date driving wheel following by date finger. Then immediate date wheel, and the date dial. The date dial guard goes next, and the immediate wheel for the day correction. Then goes the date jumper. It also serves as a date dial guard. Next, I am installing the day dial disc, fixing it at place using the snap, and checking both day and date indicators at work. Next, I am cleaning the time indices on the dial, installing the holding ring for the dial, and installing the dial on the movement. With the help of 2 screws, I am fixing the dial on the place. To install hands properly, I need to find the midnight point. Then I install in the hour hand, moving it to 9 o'clock position, and installing the minute hand, pointing it to 12 o'clock position. After that, installing the second hand. And now installing the oscillating weight. And lubricating the ball bearing. Finally, it's time to put the movement inside the case. applying some pressure to latch the case to the bezel, and finishing the assembling by inserting the stem. Let's check the watch performance after regulation. The watch works very well. All parameters are in good range and the watch looks beautiful. And it is ready for another long life. Thanks for watching. Don't hesitate to subscribe, give like and leave a comment. And until next time, goodbye.